Hey guys! I know we are all so busy in life, and that's probably why I get asked this question all the time. Do I have to track stuff to find success in my weight loss journey or my keto journey, low carb, fasting journey? Well, that depends. Today, I'm going to share with you 6 tools that I do use and have used and still use off and on throughout my weight loss journey to help me find my keto success. And before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button in the corner and click the bell so that you'll be notified when my videos drop every Friday. Welcome back to my weekly episode of 5 on Fridays. I'm here to share with you my keto success tips on how I found permanent weight loss success following a low carb lifestyle. Today, we're going to talk about 6 tools that I use on a pretty regular basis, and I'm sure that if you implement any or all of these tools, it's going to help you on your own weight loss joyful journey. If you watched my video last week, you know that I mentioned I love to track things. I have a whole folder in my iPhone of the apps that I use to help me track my weight loss journey. I love to track. I guess maybe because I'm an accountant, I don't know. But mostly it's because I find tracking helps keep me accountable. The first tool I use is an app called Carb Manager. I've tried a lot of different apps to track my daily macros, but I have found that Carb Manager is the most efficient. They have a free version and they also have a paid version. I do have the paid version because I like a little bit more detail, but I didn't pay for it for a long time, and the app was perfectly useful as the free version. Let's dive in. I'm going to show you on the screen some things that you can do with Carb Manager. And before I switch over to the screen, I just have to say that carb creep is a real thing. If you're not careful, before you know it, your goal of staying under 20 grams of carbs daily turns into 30, turns into 40, and then you've got a problem. So Carb Manager is going to help you with this. Let's look. Just want to give you a quick overview of carbmanager.com. I mostly use the app on my phone, but I do like to log in if I need to catch up because it's faster to do it on my desktop. This is a day that I showed you a screenshot of. You can see what I like about this is the colorful pie chart, and if you hover over the colors, it'll tell you I did 31% protein for this day, 63% fat, and 5.6% carb. And of course, it'll give you a red line if you go over your carb settings for the day. My carb settings for the day are set up over here in settings. I'm tracking total carbs. You can do net if you would like. You can also set up your macros to the lifestyle that you choose. You can do low carb, keto, high protein keto, which is what I'm doing right now, carnivore, all kinds of different options here in the setups. Now let's hop over to how to add food. For lunch today, I had bacon. In particular, I had Smithtown bacon, and I had 5 slices. Add that. And then I also had some scrambled eggs. Two. Add today. This was my lunch. You can add foods to your favorites, your foods that you eat. Another really cool thing is that you can scan foods in from your phone app. You can import recipes. You can actually build your own recipes. Right here you can create a recipe and you add the ingredients. You can keep track of your exercise, measurements, so many things you can keep track of in here. So I highly recommend this app for tracking your macros and food intake for sure. And the second app that I like to use on my phone is the Life Fasting app. If you've seen my story, you know I got started by following Dr. Jason Fung and reading the Obesity Code, which talks a lot about fasting. So fasting is very important to my way of life. And I use this app. I've landed on this one as my favorite as well. As you can see, I am 40 hours into a 42-hour fast. And if you look down here, you can see I'm fasting with a friend, which is fun. My friend Shannon is fasting with me too. Hi, Shannon. What's really cool about this app on the dial is it shows you when you are starting to burn ketones, and it shows you when you are in heavy ketosis with the little flame, and then it shows you when your body has switched over to autophagy. So it's a really cool app. And I will leave a link to all of the things I mentioned today in the comments below. Now, the third thing that I track with is, some of you are not going to like me saying this, but I use a scale every single day. I use the Fitbit Aria scale, which I really like a lot because not only does it tell me my weight, but it also tells me my body fat percentage, which is surprisingly fairly close in accuracy compared to the DEXA scans that I have had. I have a history of backsliding in my decades of weight loss trials, so for me, it's really important that I do jump on the scale every day so that I can check in with myself and be accountable. And for me right now, my goal is to get my body fat percentage down, and it's really neat for me to see the trends. I don't care about a day-to-day, fluctuation in my weight or the body fat percentage, but what I am watching for is downward trends. And I'll put a link to that scale that I have below. It also syncs with your Fitbit, and there's more coming up about Fitbit in a second. But if you are totally opposed to using the scale, I get it, and I recommend that you get out as an alternative a tape measure or a pair of jeans that are a little snug right now, and those can be your goal jeans. I'm all about the jeans challenge, people. So I'm really curious to know, what do you think about the scale? Let me know in the comments below, and you could tell me how much you hate it or how much you love it or how much you need it or whatever. The scale. Ugh. And the fourth thing that I use to track, just because I'm super curious about all the things, is my Fitbit. And I recently just upgraded to this Fitbit. And again, I'll drop that in a link below. And I love it. The screen is bigger and I can actually see my text messages on here. On the front screen, I have my steps. And another thing I can do is I can hop online and explore a little bit more or hop on the app on my phone. I really enjoy using the Fitbit for exercise tracking and for tracking sleep because as menopause hit, my sleep was horrible again, and I had enjoyed several years of great sleep, and I purchased the extended plan on the Fitbit, so now I'm monitoring my sleep, and I want to show you a little bit of a screenshot what this looks like online. I use my Fitbit app mostly to track my exercise and my sleep. My exercise, my sleep, and my weight, because for weight, my Aria scale does sync with my Fitbit app. But here in activities, I wanted to show you how you can look at a workout and you can see the time that you worked out, your peak performance, your time that you were in cardio, and the time you were in fat burning. And total calories burned, not that I count calories as a low carb person. And then for sleep, I find this really interesting. I can look at the details of last night's sleep and I can see, interestingly enough, I was in a long stage of deep sleep last night. And this was not my best sleep. I only got a little under 6 hours, but I felt really refreshed when I woke up, not tired at all when I woke up around 5:30. And I took a look at this and I could see that I had excellent deep sleep, so that's probably why I felt great. This is a very cool app if you would like to invest in a Fitbit. As you can see, the Fitbit is a great tool to track all the things. A fifth tool that I use that was kind of a splurge in expense, but I was super curious what my ketones were, so I did end up buying myself a Keto Mojo. I hope you can see that. Keto Mojo. And I do use this occasionally, especially if I'm feeling like I'm not making any progress in my weight loss journey when I was trying to lose my weight. And now I'm using it as I've been battling through menopause because my body fat percentage was going up and I was curious, am I still in ketosis? So I have the keto strips and I also have the blood sugar strips with this Keto Mojo package, and I'll put a link below for the Keto Mojo as well. But it's a very useful tool. This is my ketones and my blood sugar reading this morning before I ate anything, which I still haven't eaten anything because I've been fasting. So you can see that here in this screenshot. If you're curious that you are in ketosis, you could buy something like this. They're not cheap, but I see people all the time talking about the urine test strips, and those are handy at first when you are trying to start this way of life and you want to see if you're slipping into ketosis. I use those then and they're very handy, but they do get stale, and the longer you're in a state of ketosis, they're not very accurate, so I would avoid those. And I don't know anything about the breath meter detecting your ketones. So if you know anything about that, let me know in the comments below. And the final thing that I'm important about tracking as well throughout this whole journey is by journaling. I highly recommend that you journal this journey for yourself, because when you look back and reflect on everything you've been through, you are going to realize how much not only physical healing, but emotional and spiritual healing you've done as well. And it will be the biggest non-scale victory that you could fathom as you're making progress through the emotional and spiritual part of your whole being as well. So I highly encourage everyone to grab a journal. Anyhow, those are the tools that I use still to this day, and I don't use them every single day. I don't track in the Carb Manager every single day. If I have my day planned out, a lot of times I eat the same thing, so there's no reason to track every day. But like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, man, I had a real moment where I needed to get up and get my butt back in gear. And so this whole month of May, I've been tracking everything. What do you think, friends? Which tool might you use to help you in your journey? And if you haven't seen my intro video where I talk about where I started at in my own journey, make sure to watch it here. Don't forget to hit subscribe in the corner, click the bell so you'll be notified when my video drops. Like, comment, and share this video. You never know what spark might fan a flame under somebody's behind to start their own journey. And until I see you again, make sure to always choose joy. Bye.